Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer and today I'm gamesplaining Renature. So I have set the game up as a 3-player game. Everything's a little bit squished up, so all of this stuff belongs to one player, that's another player just there. In essence, you are playing a game of dominoes with a whole bunch of different benefits coming in, but the dominoes, instead of being numbers, are these pictures of animals. On your turn, what you're going to do is place one of your dominoes onto the map. The dominoes will get placed in these spots, anywhere that's basically green or the little river covering through. The rules with placement are that there are 4 spots at the top. One of the halves must be on one of the starting 4 spots. Once that one's in, the next domino that goes down must either match the symbol or have half of the domino over a starting spot. There are 4 starting spots, so it gives you a little bit of space to breathe. If, for example, that was placed there, someone could place this one here because we've got a match and we've got a match. So every part of your domino must match with what it's connected to. We're talking orthogonally adjacent in this game. There's no diagonal, so we don't need to worry about them. Once you have placed your domino, so let's say you put that one there, you can then put one of your plants into an area next to your domino. So if that's what it looks like, you can put a plant here, here, or here. These are the plants that you're choosing from. So you might, for example, just to start with, put one there. When you place a plant, any plant that is the same size or smaller will get you a point, plus a point for the plant you've just placed. So placing this one, he'll get 1 point for himself and 1 point for the other plant. So that's worth 2 points. When this one was placed, he just got 1 point. Now you'll notice that there is a beige plant there. That means that no one has ownership over that space. Why is ownership important? Because once this is surrounded, for example, I'll just throw some dominoes up. Let's say it's like that. That is considered surrounded because you can't place another domino here. Every domino must have 2 spots. You can't cover up the growing areas or go off the board with extra placements. Bearing in mind that you notice that I haven't joined those 2 together, that's because of that, showing that that is the wild domino at the moment, which means that when that's placed, anything can be placed next to it. So this is now surrounded. If it was placed like that, which it wouldn't be allowed to because these 2 don't match, but that one's wild. But when that's surrounded, we then get points. So because blue is the only color there, he would get both 2 points and 1 point. If there were a blue and say a white in that spot, neither of them would get any points. If it was a larger area and say blue had 2 and white had 1, then blue would get 2 points, white would get 1 point. If blue had 3 and white has 1, blue would get 2 points, white would get 1 point. Because it's only blue, he actually gets both lots of points and he gets that token. Why is that token important? Because there's a number on the back of it. I can't see how well you can see that, but there's a number on the back and that will be some end game points. If, for example, when this one was placed, someone decided to place this larger tree in that spot, when someone places there, for example, if they were to throw this tree, which is a smaller one, into that spot, so white would have got 1 point when they put that in, black is only getting 1 point because this is a smaller tree than that. If, however, they use the same size tree, it'd be 2 points, or they could use the large tree for 2 points also. But then if the next person places a small one in, they're only going to get 1 point for that particular tree. And that's the essence of the game. You're trying to get points for the trees that you place in, and then once something's surrounded, you get the points that are on the little tag, depending on the size of the garden area. It will be worth more points. So you can see that the one down the bottom here is worth 13 points for the majority holder and 6 for the non-majority holder. Now, something else to bear in mind, when this one is covered up, the person who covers up gets those 2 clouds if they can fit onto their board. If they can't take them. But just bear that in mind. With the setup we've got here, what you're actually looking at assuming this is a surrounded garden bed, the actual count up Depends on the size of the trees in there. So with this, blue has 4 points for this tree, 2 points for each of them, so that's 8 points total, plus 1 point for that guy. So that's 9 points for blue. Black has 4 points for that tree, 3 points for that tree, and 2 points for that tree. That's also 9. So those two are totally even. What happens is that garden bed, when it's scored, each of the players that has the same number, so there's a tie there, as if they're not on there at all, which means that when this gets scored, white, even though they only have 5 points worth, is getting both the 13 and the 6 points. So just watch out for having even numbers. Of course, if that's what it looked like, blue would now get the 13 points and black would get the 6 points. The other thing that you can do at any point during your turn is you can spend clouds. What are the clouds used for? I'm glad you asked. Firstly, if you spend 1 cloud, you can return one of these to your board, assuming there is enough space on your board to take it. If there's not enough space, you can't do that. Or you can spend 2 clouds to get one of these trees back, or 3 to get one of these back, or 4 to get this tree back. You can take back any of the beige ones. It doesn't matter if you put them out or someone else puts them out. As long as you have a space on your board, you can take them back. Other things that these clouds are used for, you could use 2 of your cloud markers to change the wild animal. So by spending 2 clouds, I can move from here to, let's say, here, and suddenly the turtle is now the wild for future turns. In fact, looking at this board, it may have been worth his while to go to the woodpecker. So this is wild, and means you can actually put pretty much anything you like next to those ones, assuming there's space. You can't put anything next to here because there's garden beds, but here and here you can put stuff in. Or you could also spend 3 clouds to have another go. And literally you just go up 3 clouds, have another go, do your thing exactly as you've just done, and then finish up. These clouds are worth 1 point each at the end of the game if you still have them on your board. So just bear that in mind. The other thing that I haven't been doing is when you have had your turn, you will then redraw dominoes back up to 3 in front of you. So you're ready for the next turn. You can be looking ahead to see what's coming up. I think that I have covered all the rules for Renature. If you have any, please go ahead and watch my gameplay to get a feel for how the game actually plays. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you would like to be gamesplained, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.